going on YouTube? Man, I just turned 45, son. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it, y'all. I was gonna wrap the 45 up there, but the brakes broke. So, yeah, it is what it is. Guys, welcome back to Eastside RC and TMR Performance. Today we're gonna be taking a look at drag issues with your Baja. I know taking the engine out and putting the engine back in can be a mechanical nightmare for some. So I want to show you guys how to eliminate drag in the driveline altogether once and for all. Okay, here we have Mr. Manna's car. Now, before we get started, what you want to do is you want to make sure your Baja engine, you have this loose at this point. You want to have this loose at this point. This loose at this point. These two loose at these points. Loose at this point as well. All right? So, once you have all those loose, this should be able to move very, very slightly. Then what you want to do is you want to come over and then you can put your plate on. A lot of times what people will do is start cinching one area down and try to fit the plate, or cinch the whole thing down tight and then try to fit the plate. And what happens is in this area, it doesn't want to go on. You have to finagle it on. And in doing so, it puts the lay shaft under a bind this way and causes a slow hindrance when you're turning, okay? When you're turning this, you should be able to turn this with your fingers real easy right now in this position with it not hooked up, and you should have a nice, free, no drag. You should feel zero resistance all the way around. If you do, you got an issue, okay? You need to look and see what's going on. But right now, there should be no issue. When you get this thing all buttoned back up, it should be the same resistance. It should spin just as easy. It's going to be a little bit more, not much, because you have a bearing here that will be put, that goes on here. But the plate should go on nice and smooth, and I'm going to show you guys that in a second. But you should have no issues spinning. See the other side there? When this is all put together, if you're spinning this and you feel resistance and it causes it to stop and makes your diff out and cause it to work the diff, then you have an issue. You have drag. You should be able to spin this when it's all together real slow like this and feel zero resistance all the way around. That is super critical when you're drag racing, you're dirt racing, when you're out bashing and having fun, because drag and resistance hinders horsepower, all right? It robs power, and it also heats up your clutch because it makes your clutch and your engine work harder because you got drag slowing it, trying to slow it down. So it's real critical to have the Baja's driveline super smooth, and it's real easy to get the Baja to have drag, okay? So I want to help you guys so that you can learn how to not have drag. So let's set the camera up and start wrenching, shall we? Okay, I've already done all the set work and dry run work of this and got my engine tight and right and where it needs to be, all right? Tony's engine, rather. And I also already pre-modded his plate for the big cover. See there? I installed and hammered in some PIM nuts right there. So here's his stock plate. Now we're going to fit this on here. See there? Look at that. No issue whatsoever. It just went right on. All right? So Now what you want to do is you want to tighten these first. But before you tighten this, you want to look behind here and see what you got going on, okay? Make sure all this is flush up here. Everything's fully seated, all right? Fully seated. Now, we're going to look behind here and see what we got. All right, see there? Right down in here in the bottom. Let me get my file and point for you guys. Right here, see there? There's no gap. So we're good. We can put a screw there. Let's check over here. Oh, what do we have? We have a gaparoo. So what's going to happen if we tighten that down tight? It's going to put the cover in a bind. And what's that going to do? That's going to pull on the lay shaft. It causes drag. So how are we going to fix that? Well, we simply take a shim and we fit it behind there. Now for this side, we can go ahead and put our screw Loctite. See how I got a little on the rim there? That's for extra holding strength up against this cover. Cover clean, screw clean, threads clean, tighten right. Get that one seated till it stops, then fit your shim in. Having this one seated some, it puts a little pressure here and it gets your, allows you to have the shim in there perfectly. And that is just happens to be a 1mm shim. It works perfectly. Once you get it almost in there, you can just give it a little tap to line it up. Now we can proceed with the Loctite. And then we'll go ahead and cinch these down, and I'll show you the trick to do right here. Also, during this process, check free spinning. Always check during the whole process that there's no drag. Tighten right, as free as it was without the cover, without the gear plate. All right, no resistance at all. Very smooth. Now, let's go ahead and get these in. It's gonna be these two bolts here, no Loctite because there's lock nuts down the bottom here. All right, right here is another critical aspect of the Baja drag. You want to get these till they're almost down, all right? See there? You're gonna spin and tighten each one. Very little. You turn it until it stops. Turn it till it stops. Spin. Little bit tighter. Little bit tighter. You're done. That's it. You should be able to flick this right here like, and there should be no diffing out. It should be nice and smooth. And what you want to do is turn this real slow like this. If you feel any resistance at all, then you may have got these too tight, and you just simply back them off. If you're unsure, back them all the way off. And just turn them till they stop. That's it. Till they close the gap. That's it. Nice and smooth. I feel zero drag. It's perfect. Then you can check it with the gears. You should have ample play all the way around. then spin it. See how it wants to keep going? That indicates that there's no drag. Look, flick of the wrist. Let me back it totally up so you can see. Let me back it on up. Look. Let go. Still spinning. And that's this not even tight. Look at that. Done. Okay? Perfectly aligned. Zero drag. Mr. Mana is ready to rip. Now I can go ahead and you can button everything else up. All the points that we talked about before, you can run through and tighten them all down. And I recommend, tighten this down and then do these over here. Get them so they're tightened, evenly tighten. That's how you want to tighten everything down. Evenly tighten it down, all right? Go through and tighten it all down till everything's drawn together evenly. There's the finished product, guys. Got both dust covers on, the little rubber one and the plastic one here in the back. And I threw him a little splatter painted TGN sticker up on there because that's the type of air filter that I'm going to be putting on his engine for him. But you can see my my pin bolts in the back, everything lined up beautifully. And he's all ready to go. Yes, sir. So, real pleased with that. All right, then. Y'all have a blessed one. I'll be sure to catch you on the next one. Come on back because we're going to be setting the endpoints on the throttle, and we're also going to be taking a look at the reversal on the GT3B radio and for the steering as well. So y'all come on back. That's what we got for the next one. Setting up some endpoints for the TMR. Look at it. Woo! Oh, yeah. This is Mr. Mana's Blackout TMR car, built by me, of course. It has taken a little bit of time, so he's been extremely patient, and we do appreciate, Mr. Mana, your patience, brother. So you will have a nice tight and right, ready to rip ride. I'll be texting you here shortly to talk to you about a couple things, all right? So y'all have a blessed one. Catch you on the next one. Eastside RC at TMR Performance is out.